And today, we're back in the garden. We're going to actually encounter a boss today in like 7-ish minutes. First, we have to get through the garden over here, while past me has to get through the garden, which he's thoroughly useless at, trying to sneak around shit right now. Got like 8 rings of sacrifice at this point. The ring selection in Dark Souls 3 I haven't found to be particularly exciting. Because we got like, you know, Flynn's ring and all that. And, the Chloranthry? What? I don't know, whatever. The increased stamina regen, which is always good. Havel's ring, but that doesn't seem to be so terribly important this time around. Most of the armor I've found anyway seems to be quite light. Very, very rarely am I in a position where I'm fat rolling. Granted, however, I am also only using a longsword and a shield for the entire game, and not a heavier weapon, like an axe or a hammer. Or even like a spear. I'm pretty sure they're heavier than a longsword is. I wonder if the Irithyll sword is actually lighter than most because it's like made of ice. I don't know. I didn't look. Eventually, sometime in this castle, I'll actually start using another weapon because I decided to commit hard to a theme. But that will be in like a week worth of footage, something like that. So I've elected at this point that I don't want to fight anything, and I'm just gonna run straight past them since one of them saw me. Because the thing is with the oldie symbiote types is they can't fit through any fucking doors. They're much, much too fat. Even though realistically they'd be able to like wiggle their way in. They're just it's too much effort. They don't want to bother. What was up here, exactly? Oh, this was a shortcut, I remember now. I think, anyway. Was it? Yeah, it was. There's, like, little thief bastards in here in a shortcut. So, I mean, what are we going to talk about now? Because, you know, it's going to take me, like, 10 minutes to clear these little bastards out, and then, like, actually start moving around again. Yeah, you know, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, you know. Been sick lately. Been playing a lot of Overwatch, as you may imagine. It's a good game, I would recommend it highly. Yeah, this is awkward, isn't it? Let's see what's happening on the internet while myself over here wanders around. So I actually have something to talk about. I do so hate recording things after actually playing it. I never know what to say. It's very awkward. Oh yes, there's a Witcher card game coming out based around Gwent. Which I don't understand why people have been clamoring for this, because Gwent's like a fucking boring card game, okay? Like, it's not very exciting. I don't know why exactly we need to have this. There are plenty of other better card games you could be playing, like Hearthstone. Oh yes, we saw a Call of Cthulhu trailer for an actual game. Will it actually be good? Probably not. Most games based on the Lovecraft mythos are actually quite awful. Dark Corners of the Earth being basically the only exception, but dreadfully old, didn't run very well at the time, and it doesn't run very well. It's hard to get it to run now. Oh yeah, fucking Manchester United was trying to buy Overwatch team. I don't know what happened about that. That's how you know esports has finally made it. One of like the biggest organizations in all of England is trying to buy an esports team. We've made it, boys. We've made it. What's happening over there? What am I doing now? Oh yes, I'm about to fight like 8 burly fuckers and then find the boss with no Estus. That's right, that's right. Oh, I'm gonna sneak up on him. I don't have the heart to do it without healing first. Oh yes, I remember that happening and being a little upset by how little damage it did. Do I die here? Oh, just barely. Good job not getting absolutely murdered. I've also been walking around toxic this entire time. Because I thought this would just poison me, but it didn't, did it? It actually toxiced me. Or is it just poison? Toxic's way less brutal in this game, though, than the other ones, regardless, which is a welcome change, because, oh god. If you got toxic, that was it. That was just the end of life itself at that point. Yep, and this guy takes that Estus. Do I actually fight the boss with no Estus? I don't recall. These big sword guys are like a little bit on the useless side, because they're way slow. It's just I'm terrible. In my defense, I'm terrible, so. That was magic defense? Yeah, magic damage absorption. Which is not terribly useful in this game. I've found there aren't that many bosses that use straight magic. It tends to be elemental of some kind. Oh, here we go. We're gonna find the boss. A very strange boss was this one. I am going to get murdered. Spoiler warning. Because I have 1 Estus, as you may imagine.
Slaves. Finally taken notice, have you? Of the power of my beloved Ocelot, child of dragons. Well, I will not give him up. For he is all that I have.
So yeah, this guy's a little weird. I don't know what his deal is yet. Because I'm not smart enough to understand the lore of a Dark Souls game. I have to wait for someone to explain it to me. Typically Vati, since I tend to agree with his theories more than anyone else. But, kinda feels like I'm just beating up an old man. I mean, not this time. This time I'm gonna get absolutely schooled by him. As soon as he, like, starts actually fighting. Because he's got phases. But, the second time I come back, it feels a lot like just beating up a blind old man. Like, I kinda assume he is, like, related to Seath in some way, because he's like all scaleless and he's like doing all these magics and everything, trying to curse me, you know. But I don't know, what'd you want, cat? My cat friend, who legally speaking is also my property.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out. Don't be afraid.
I think he's in the wrong game. Ocelot's over in the Metal Gear Solid series.
Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear.
So, like, is this guy also, like, blind, you know? Oh, hello, yes, hello, my cat friend. I don't know, this guy's weird. I don't get his whole deal. I remember wondering also if you could cut off his tail, because I noticed it moved a little if you hit it, but I don't know, they seem to have abandoned that after Dark Souls 1. Not that there are many enemies with tails in this game. See, I was starting to feel myself at this point. I was like, oh, maybe I can do it. He's not really doing very much. But now he's actually trying to fight, so, you know. Turns out, the strategy at this point is to actually just stand under him, because he, for some reason, if you're underneath him, he just can't figure it out. He just doesn't know what to do. But of course, myself at this point, he doesn't know that. He's gonna get absolutely fucked. Yep, there we go. There we go. I tried to ember myself out of desperation, but it really didn't work. Oh, I didn't edit this ahead of time, so that's awkward. I'm just gonna just snip right there. Skip ahead a little bit. Don't mind the immersion breaking. There we go. Excellent. Now, back in again. This time with 12 entire Estus, because I just ran past everything, basically. As you do in Souls, once you figure out where the boss is, you figure out what you can sprint past and what you actually have to fight. So this time he's thoroughly hosed. He's too useless. He's but a doddering old man looking for Ocelot, who is still not in this game series, but I don't have the heart to tell him. I wonder if there is, like, a ring in this game that masks your sound and it fucks with this guy, because I get the impression that he's blind. It doesn't really look like he's got any eyes, for one thing. Now he's all serious again. But it's okay, because you see the strategy. Just get under him. Now that I'm under him, it's easy, because he just doesn't know what to do. He just has no clue what to do when you're underneath him. As is often the case, I find, with large Dark Souls bosses, is if you just, like, get up to them, they seem to have a little bit more trouble. Exceptions being things like the Asylum Demon. Not the Asylum Demon per se, the burly version of it. I don't recall the name of it precisely. Gaping Dragon, Centipede Demon. But the Centipede Demon's just a fucking mess, honestly. I hate that thing. See, he just doesn't know what to do. He's got no clue on how to get me. He got me there, but only like a little bit. It's all too simple. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know what to do. See, he's trying so hard, and he almost got me there, but not quite. It's not quite. Do I actually remember to read his soul? Yes, I do. I just have to find it. Orisis went mad trying to harness his royal blood for a greater purpose, leading him to the heretics of the Grand Archive, where he discovered the twistless worship of Seath, the Pale Drake. I almost just auto-filled that as the Scaleless, but... The Pale Drake, sure. Now... See, back here is actually a dead end, but... It's deceptive. It's not actually a dead end. This actually holds the key. Well, not the key. This is straight up the path to probably my favorite boss in all of the Souls games. But it's hidden. It takes me a minute to find it. I remember that much. Also, there's like dead pilgrim guys down here again, as there tends to be in this place. I wondered what the fuck that was for a second. I couldn't, like, see it properly for some reason. So, there's a weird area back here. When I eventually find it. Because I came in here, and I was like, huh, this is a dead end. And I thought this was going to be something, like, really cool to find. No, we find Path of the Dragon, which is necessary to get to one of the other areas that I haven't gotten to just yet, but I mean soon. Probably do that tonight. Now there's an invisible wall in here, and I'm like, this cannot be it. There's no way this is all that's back here after fighting that boss. What am I doing right now? Why am I doing this? I assume I'm looking for Path of the Dragon to try and use that. See, I'm along the right lines, I'm just in the wrong location to do that, because it's over in, like, the dungeons somewhere. And now I'm gonna hit every wall. I think the wall that actually has the secret door in it is the very last one I hit. Because it's behind the chest, as you might imagine, but for some reason past me is like, just hit every other wall first. Why would I check the most obvious wall first? Fucking pointy-hatted loser over here. He's got no clue. Look at him. Look at him. Everyone point and laugh. Yep, no. Yep, there you go. Yep, there you go. Found it. So, that kind of freaked me out, but this place is kind of weird, as you'll see why, like, in a second. It's the untended graves, right? So, you know, spooky, a graveyard that's, like, indoors, but also, like, in the void of space. Very spooky. But, I've somewhat lost my train of thought. Yes, goodbye, my cat friend. This is actually identical to the graves that we started the game in. But with, like, these guys over here, up to no good, as usual. I don't know what the deal with these guys is. They're fucking everywhere, and they're just weird. But, yes. So, we're actually back in the very starting area again, basically. But, like, the same but different. It's very strange. I don't fully understand. Reminds me a lot of something that's in Bloodborne, where if you go through, like, because they got the Hunter's Dream, and then if you go through this whole, like, thing, you can get to, like, another version of the Hunter's Dream out in, like, the real world. Also, yeah, it's kind of weird that the Ashen Estus ring is, like, in this place, because I imagine if you're a spellcaster, you would probably want that, like, a lot sooner than this. But, you know. So, there is actually a crystal lizard here as well, I think. Actually, I think it's 2 crystal lizards. Because the gist is, it's the same, but more brutal than the starting area. As, you know, it probably should be. These ladies are kind of weird. There's like 3 of them in the entire game for some reason. I don't know why these aren't in more places. I don't know a lot of things, is the gist of what we're getting at right here. So, like, it's, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, so, my favorite boss is in this area. It's gonna take us a little while to get over to him, because I'm like, well, if this is the same, but different, there's gotta be some cool stuff laying around. Pretty sure there isn't. Pretty sure the Titanite chunks are, like, the best thing I find here. Well, unless you count, like, the giant crystal lizards. Lots of dogs. So, whilst we're fighting these small enemies, let's go over here and look for more things to fill time with, because I don't know. I'd be a terrible commentator. I wouldn't, like... If you had me commentate, like, a League of Legends game or an Overwatch game or something, I don't know what I'd do. I feel like I'd fall apart within seconds. Oh, yep, 2 crystal lizards. Okay, it was. And I think, like, I don't think there's, like, any actual items on the ground over here. Contain yourself, dog. It's okay. I think I might die to these things, actually. Just because 2 of them is a little annoying. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I give past me too little credit. So... over here... oh yes, this was interesting news. The people who made Quantum Break and the Alan Wake games were saying they were looking at other mediums to tell more Alan Wake stories, which is interesting. But, I guess not surprising, since there was the whole, like, Return of Alan Wake thing in Quantum Break. Then they said they weren't working on anything related to Alan Wake, and it was a trademark thing. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe, we'll see, I quite liked Alan Wake, I'd like to see more things in that world. It was horrifically cheesy, but, you know, I quite liked it. Let's see, well, let's go check somewhere else for news. Oh, yes, fantastic. The Division's player count has apparently dropped 93% since launch on Steam, specifically. So, you know, that's going fantastically. A lot of games with fantastic launches lately. We've had The Division, which, like, started off pretty strong, but then, like, all the hacks and exploits and everything came out, and it all fell apart. Battleborn, of course, horrifically, doing just terribly by the sound of it right now, since, like, you know, game's been out for like a month and it went on a 40% off sale. Please buy our video game, is what that says to me. I mean, if you will end up kind of in competition with Overwatch, and then launch at the same time Overwatch launches, I mean... that's what you expect. That's what's going to happen, I'm afraid. Even though the two are, like, kind of beyond comparison, really. Their gameplay is, like, nothing alike. Battleborn's just like... this is terribly shallow of me. But I think Battleborn just looks hideous. I don't know why. There's just something about it that makes it... I just hate looking at Battleborn, frankly. Oh, that's right, there's rumors. There's gonna be a Devil May Cry 5. And I'd love nothing more, honestly. Please, take away the Edgelord Dante and give me back the original Cowboy Dante. You know, Demon Cowboy, whatever. Nothing would make me happier. Am I actually going off towards the boss yet? Vaguely. We might be there within the hour. We'll see. Because what I'm thinking is... how long have we been going right now? 23 minutes? I'm thinking... there's probably enough time to get... wait, does this lady kill me? If this lady kills me, I take it back, and we're just gonna end now. Because I was gonna say maybe we can beat the boss before this gets, like, too dreadfully long, but... so I like to try and keep things reasonably short. Yeah, no, I'm fucked. Yeah, got parried and then got fucked. Alright, I take it back. We're not gonna see my favorite boss today. We're gonna see my favorite boss next time. I'm sorry, I lied to you all.